知道啊，我乱讲。以后只给光亮词。
不客气，可以看一下，都是我自己写自己画的。书院门宠物街手绘。208。
And I see us walking hand in hand, living all the plans we've made. And we know there ain't no looking back. It might be hard, but we know love will make it up for us.
这个门前带那个就刚好有个办法可以我上这去，你都没好吃。
在那刚起来。
倒点身子，往右倒点身子，肩膀高了，左肩膀高了，哎，不是，右肩膀高了。上，来，别急，别有风，来准备，1、2、3，走，哎，对喽。老师，我给你看上去2张吧，就看3张。 拔人才，以为地下分忧。当然，历史选拔肯定有些许。
Be here at my shoulder, be here at my side, be here when the cold night falls and in the morning light, be here in the autumn when all the colors call. Be the burning memory of all the summers gone. Be here every morning, be the calm I feel, be the beauty I behold all the days I'm here. Be here to remind me of all the goodness I've known. Be the heart that holds on tight, don't let me let it go.
的给咱们各位呢共同的来解答的，有客人景区门票没有来得及购买的，怎么快速购买门票？进去之后呢，怎么参观？
乱掉头，我们站起，
自带车中在景区里主要就是看这个看那个吃的买的。好，快去，快点。哎，就来了，哎，过去的，哎，好。 管年龄大小都留学，因为您在国外老师批掉了，就是你这个范围。
啥的国际在一起会上两万点，到一个报数我是报的这个以后上了就说说。
这还有好多万岁来的。
都能吃，
也不吃猪肉，也可以放上。
你门票包括的是骊山园，你买票了吗？
I've been taking mornings slowly, waking up with the sweet sound of the birds, reading books and sipping coffee. I forgot how much I love getting lost in words. Well, it took us a while to get here. It took the world falling apart. But maybe we needed to take a step back to remember how lucky we are. It's like time was falling asleep in the afternoon. Sunlight is keeping us warm. Against our will, we're finally sitting still, savoring the days before they're gone. I wonder how it took us this long. Spend our evenings telling stories, playing games like we're all kids again, sitting on a front porch laughing. It's gotta be the finest medicine. It's like time is falling asleep in the afternoon. Sunlight that's keeping us warm. Against our will, we're finally sitting still, savoring the days before they're gone. I wonder how it took us this long. This long, this long. It's like time is falling asleep in the afternoon. Sunlight is keeping us warm. wonder how it took us this long. Is long.
洗完手以后不要擦干，让它们干。
你吹就有点小的。
再往4页。
On the road, I've been away for far too long, but now I'm on my way back home. I hear the west winds calling. I'm a name, you're telling me to head your way. Down your road and past your gates, keep your eyes on the horizon. I was looking to belong when I already found for the setting sun, for you to fall into my arms, the place place I call my home. I was looking to belong when I already found my home.
一会儿人会越来越多的，老西安传统的肉夹馍往里边走。
I hope you don't mind if I say that there's so many ways that I want to carve out our names for a last minute plane, just us two. We can chase the sun as it sets in the mountains. Find luck like a bet in Greek fountains, or lay lazy in bed with your head on my chest. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another high do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do. I hope you can hear every note that my heart sings, like a choir of bells, how they all ring. Oh, can't you tell if the timpani swells the heartstrings? There's a place deep in our hearts where it matters. We can stay there forever and after, written in stars right above where we are. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another high do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do. That I love you. Every day another high do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do.
Dear tourists, welcome to Xi'an City Wall. In this warm reminder during the tour, do not litter. Civilized tour. We advocate that.